Hey everybody, welcome to Three Song Thursday number 10. Number 10. Amazing that we are here from an undisclosed location. Thank you for being here so much. Thank you. Thank you for the tip jar. Thank you for liking and sharing, but especially thank you for being here with me and joining me on this crazy thing that we're doing every Thursday, 5 p.m. West Coast time. It's fantastic. I love it. I want to thank the team. First of all, I want to, all important, Rupert Pumpkin. I want to thank him tonight. I want to thank Josh Orchard of Media Campus for all the tech support that he gives us in Portland. And I want to thank Medina for the design and Auxwala for our producer. And then, of course, there's my daughter, Carrie, who is... Oh, look, there she is. She's going to be commenting today. So if it looks like I'm singing and like commenting at the same time, it's true. It's kind of true, but it's really Carrie doing the commenting. So I'm just so glad you're here, and from all over the place. Hey Ramsey, where are you guys watching from? I'm always so curious. Let me know where you're watching from, and let me know that you're here. And I'm going to get started with the first song. I think this is called The Last Great Kiss of the 20th Century, and I think it had to have come from the first song I ever learned on guitar, which was called The Last Kiss. I don't know if you know that. Hey, JD. JD, nice to see you from Tumwater, Washington. I assume Joanna's there maybe too. My booking agent, I love it. Hey, Robert Morgan Fisher. That's fantastic. But you remember that song? I was out on a date in my daddy's car. Something like that. Anyway, that was my first song that I learned on guitar. And this is a song I wrote years later. Here we go. Hi, Elise. From Lawrence. And a JD. Two JDs. Amy from Ohio, yes. I love it. It was Friday, December 31st, 1999. All those New Years that came and went, but I was gonna make it special this time, so I walked on down to Venice Beach and I found her apartment there. Knocked on the door and she looked kind of surprised. She said, "Hey, what are you doing here?" Well, I said, "I've noticed you looking at me, and lately I've been thinking about you quite a lot. And sometimes we let these things slip through our fingers and sometimes not. And I don't know if it was what I said or how I said it, and I don't know that I care, as we walked on down to the Santa Monica Pier, and I figured we'd be part of some fireworks there, and the moon shone bright, rolled off her hair, and the crabs nipped our feet, and the salty air, and the time flew by as I looked at my watch, and whoa, come on baby, here we go. It was the last great kiss, 20th century. No time to think about the millions before me. Took her in my arms, rest was history. And when it was over, she said, "Hey, that was really something. Now this thing we've done." And I don't mean to disappoint you, but you know, new century doesn't start till 2001. So when the confusion cleared and I scratched my head, I said, "Well, you're not as dumb as I look. And I look for reasons to take chances, 'cause it makes me feel good. And I don't often know what I am doing next month, much less next year. But if you wanna meet me same time, same place, you know I'll be here. And the moon will shine bright, roll up off your hair, and the crabs will nip off feet, and the salty air, and the time will fly as I look at my watch. And whoa, come on, baby, here we go. It'll be the last great kiss, 20th century. No time to think about the millions before me. Take you in my arms, rest will be history. I've always been afraid of leaving this world without making my mark. But I know that all my good intentions will fail if love don't play a part. So the next year I was walking down to the pier, but I was not alone. There was a woman walking beside me, and I had my arm draped around her shoulder. We were pushing a stroller, that's right, a baby stroller. And on the occasion of little Millie's 3-month-old birthday, we thought we'd take her down shore where it all began. And the moon shone bright, but she didn't have any hair, and the fireworks roared, and the baby was scared. And I picked up that baby, and I lifted her high, and I kissed that child, said, baby, don't you cry. It was the last great kiss of the 20th century. No time to think about the millions before me. Took her in my arms, rest was history. It was the last great kiss. It was the last great kiss. It was the last great kiss of the 20th century. And the crowd goes wild. Well, Carrie goes wild. Thank you very much. I was just thinking about shout out to Amy Beth who gave me that line. You're not as dumb as I look. So, Rupert Pumpkin. I hope you liked that. Hope you liked that one. So our theme today is dangerous games. There's lots of ways to play dangerous games. But this song I'm going to play for you now is about some dangerous games. It's called Eddie and Jules. It is a lyric that is very old. It's a lyric that's older than Ryan Hommel, who wrote the music. So the lyric is older than my co-writer who wrote the music. And keep an eye out for this track. Ryan has produced it and will release it soon. I'm excited about it. It's a little story about a couple of blackjack players who get going down a rabbit hole. Eddie and Jules, here we go. Now Eddie was my buddy growing up in had a head for numbers in the worst way. When classes got slow and he got bored, he made his way to Vegas and learned to play cards. Jules was from Iowa looking for some fun. Eddie started downtown playing 21. She really looked the part, but no basic strategy. Ballsy in a mini dress, big play fantasy. It was blackjack, think fast, soft 18. Eddie counted 6 decks in a minute 19. Jules raised a finger and the boss was shaking cough. And Eddie called the plays. Jules took the money off. The next year, Eddie is growing up a bit. scouting out the good games up and down the strip. He counted high up one with aces on the side, but playing on the square would never keep her satisfied. So they took to playing old cards and dealer weaknesses. Know the house at 17, know what 18 is. He locked the lucky spot, the beginning of the shift. Jules came in separately and looked for Eddie's gift. It was blackjack, think fast, soft 18. Eddie counted 6 decks in a minute 19. Jules took a marker and the club went soft. Eddie gave the sign, Jules took the money off. Now with a steady small edge, she was happy for a while. Increasingly aware of the magic in her smile. She met a clever dealer working graveyard shift downtown. Everyone agreed they would get out before the heat came down. It was blackjack, think fast, soft 18. The dealer on the crew, they were a money machine. Now Eddie mattered less in Jules' universe, 'cause Julie pulled the cold dash right out of her purse. Now I would like to tell you that they got away clean, that Eddie went back home and finished his degree. But Eddie's calls home stopped, and for the crooked path they took, there are 2 new shadowed faces in Nevada's black book. It was blackjack, think fast, soft 18. Eddie counted 6 decks in a minute 19. Jules raised a finger, the boss would shake and cough. Eddie called the plays, Jules took the money off. Jules took the money off. Carrie likes it. Carrie likes it. Are you talking to the people, Carrie? You having a conversation with the people? It's hard to keep up, yeah. I saw some of them. I saw some of those comments. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I saw somebody that I have not heard of in a long time, and I'm forgetting his name. So I'm gonna play one more song for you guys. This song has a open tuning, which I used to do a lot of. And I'm going to have to learn all these songs again. It's so much fun, I have to tell you. But you have to tune the guitar. Happy Veterans Day, everybody. 11/11. Rupert Pumpkin's birthday, I think. Right? David Nickerson, you're the one I was thinking of. I haven't heard from you in a long time, man. Nice to see you. Nice to see you there. I don't really see you, but but this song I co-wrote with the brilliant Robert Morgan Fisher. Thank you, Robert. And I'm excited to tell you about it. Shout out to the wild women on the Great Peace March for Global Nuclear Disarmament, who hiked out to Ground Zero and stopped a nuclear test and are immortalized in this song, Dangerous Games, because they were playing some dangerous games for sure. And there's a story about me flying to Sri Lanka to play cards, and there were 2 civil wars going on there, and you might say, why would you fly out to a place with 2 civil wars going on? And I would say, it's a good game. It was a good game. I was on the plane. I was reading my little Berlitz book, reading all about Sri Lanka for the first time as we were just about to land in Colombo, the capital. And it said in there that when people in Sri Lanka want to say yes, they shake their head from side to side, kind of like this. And I thought, that's crazy. That's crazy. That can't be true. Guy next to me was from Colombo, and I turned to him and I said, it says in here that when you guys want to say yes, you shake your head from side to side. Is that true? And he goes, Carrie's laughing. That really did happen, though. It took me a couple days to figure out. I'd walk up to the elevator going up, and they'd go, I say, okay, no, sorry. Next. But we went there to play some blackjack, and I ended up getting pretty early on, getting tapped on the shoulder and taken to a back room by the casino manager, and where we had this little discussion about the chips in front of me and who was going to get to take them home. These chips were chips I won. I'd won a little bit. And so we had this conversation, and he gave me half of them. I let him have half of them, and we were all good, I guess. And he said, you want a ride home to your hotel? And I thought, no, I don't really. And can I call my friend? So he let me use the phone. I called my friend Art, who was there with me. And I called him up and I said, Art, can you come down to the casino and pick me up? And he said, this is a true story. I don't remember it, but Art tells me this actually happened. He said, Art said, do you think they might kill you? And I said, I think they might. And he said, I'll send a taxi. So he said, have you heard that story before? Carrie's heard all the stories, I think. Yeah. Oh, well, all right. I can't think of a new story for Carrie. but Art was encouraging me to take risks, and even in other areas of my life, and I'd always had a hard time, asking women out. But Art was encouraging me. He said, the reward lives in the house of risk. Reward lives in the house of risk. He repeated it every day, many times. And finally, so he convinced me to ask this French woman who was staying at the Colombo Hilton. We were like maybe the only 3 people that were there. I mean, there were the civil wars and all. But I finally did ask her if she wanted to go to dinner with me. And of course she said, no. I was just being funny. She said yes. And we went out to dinner, and we went to this out-of-the-way place in Colombo and had this very nice dinner. And the end of the dinner came, and the waiter brought the check. And he showed it to me, and on it was a piece of paper. And there, in Art's neat block printing, it said, a reward from the House of Risk. Art had just tripped across us in his travels that night and left me that. And all that and more made it into this song I wrote with Robert Morgan Fisher. This is Dangerous Game, everybody. Colombo, Sri Lanka, 2 civil wars, one during the day, the other at night. I was counting cards at the House of Risk. I was a little ahead, I was doing all right. Tapped on the shoulder, led to a room, he called it his office, but it felt like a tomb. We were from different worlds, but there was no language barrier. He said, it's a very dangerous game you're playing, but I know one's scarier. Killington, Vermont, New Year's Eve, passing on the left, passing on the right. I left my helmet back at the bar. There was ice on the road, there was ice on my bike, and the cop pulled me over. Top of the hill, I walked the line, I knew the drill. That's when he gave me the lecture, the whole chapter and verse. He said, it's a very dangerous game you're playing. I said, I know one worse. Mercury, Nevada, underground tests, fire in the earth, leak into the sky. Greenpeace soldiers on a backcountry action. All the way to ground zero, we climbed and the whacking hunts waiting in their ATVs, guns raised and ready, tell us to freeze. Now they were protecting a bomb blast. Now what could be stranger? They said it's a very dangerous game you're playing, but they don't know from danger. Front porch, her house, 3 a.m. I'm feeling loose, doors locked up tight. I reach for the doorbell, but then I wander off in the middle of the night, and I am crazy with cold feet and make up my mind. Let it drag out, play for more time. And there was just one message in my message machine. She said, it's a very dangerous game you're playing. I said, I know what you mean. Shout out to Naniki, who was one of those people who marched to that nuclear blast, and shout out to Bill O'Neill. I didn't see what he said, but I saw him comment, and I think the line "Fire in the earth, leak into the sky" might have been Bill's. I don't know. Bill's given me some advice over the years. Anyway, that's it. Next week, back home in my home office. No more undisclosed location, and. I just want to say, I want to remind myself to ask you to check out my new Facebook music page. You know, I got 5,000 friends on my profile, but I only got 150 followers on the new music page. So thanks for checking that out. And I appreciate you so much. And we'll see you next week on 3 Song Thursday.